Coming to you from TCG Studios in Queen Creek, Arizona.
What does that stand for?
Taylor Cruz Gallegos.
TCGT.
TCG Studios is what I said.
Nah, you said something else.
Oh gosh.
Like,
No, he said TCG
I said
Studio.
TCG Studios.
Coming out of it.
Rewind it. We got replay.
Rewind.
Where's the red flag? So I
The
can challenge
ruling on the
this?
field stands. He did say TCG Studio.
There you go. TCG
Tomato,
Studios.
carrots, geranium.
What?
Yeah,
I like potatoes in my bed.
it's very important.
Oh,
we have
God.
Cade.
You know,
on the
Expand on that.
Wait a minute.
I just called everybody at my school a
Potatoes
potato.
in your bed.
Everybody at my school is a potato.
Like, it hits different when you eat french fries in bed rather than at Burger King.
Oh, she likes salted potatoes. There are lots of salty potatoes in my school.
Oh, when Jackson was eating chips in bed, I guess that qualifies as potatoes.
I have a chair and a desk, and I sit in that to eat.
I don't like to eat in bed.
Yeah.
I really don't. I don't.
Yeah, it's weird because then the crumbs get everywhere, and then
Don't eat crummy food.
that's the only food you like.
Okay, so when you say
What else?
crummy, do you mean food that has a lot of crumbs or food that's no good?
This is the first time
Unbiased
I've ever-
opinion, Burger King fries are not crummy.
Hearts.
I've always said I would do this.
Josh's hearts for YouTube. For video only.
For video only.
Audio fans can leave. No, I need you.
So, okay, so since we're talking about fries,
Yes.
who sells the best fries?
Burger
In
King.
and out.
McDonald's, Wendy's.
I respect it.
Okay, look, McDonald's back in the day, about 15 years ago, did used to have the best fries.
You can still get
But do you know why?
because they salted them better.
No, they fried them in pork fat. Ew.
Oh, they
Yum.
so they killed the
Amazing.
pig. They made
It's
a
like
football,
bacon fries.
and they fried it.
Right.
Bacon
They
fries.
used the
That
oil
sounds
to-
good.
Yeah.
Huh?
So they would kill a pig. They would make a football. They would
No,
melt the football.
they're not
into
talented
grease,
enough to kill a
Milk the
pig.
football?
And then they would fry
Did you say milk?
fries with the melt football grease.
I think Josh needs to get closer to the mic.
I mean, I
Do I? I think.
Well, I was watching YouTube Shorts the other day, and there was this one off another podcast, and the guy was like, I think In-N-Out fries are overrated. Like, they think it's so good with sunflower seed oil, but it's not. I'm like, what?
As a Christian, I have
In-N-Out
to
is
go
top 3.
No.
For
Easy.
sure. For
what do you mean?
sure.
Okay,
I want.
name your top 3 fries.
Yeah.
Okay, Wendy's, Burger King.
You atheist.
When-
I would not even put Wendy's in the
Not
top 10.
not even in specific order. I
Yeah,
put
fine.
Burger King
Wendy.
number 1.
I can see Burger King top 3 or 5.
Nah.
I
Yeah,
gotta give them
yeah.
my money for different
I like Burger
reasons,
King fries.
but-
I don't
Wendy's
know.
though, I'll pass on Wendy's.
Sea salt, dude.
Yeah, I'll pass on them. Because yeah, they have sea salt. You can taste the salt, but they're
That's
not.
the
They don't
whole
even
point.
fry them right. Or the last few times I bought them, they're all soggy. It's like, nah, y'all don't need this in the
You
fry.
gotta go to a different restaurant, different Wendy's. I
I
was at
don't-
Wendy's.
In-N-Out, I won't order In-N-Out fries. I'll just
Nah.
get a burger.
You don't even like them?
I can't.
You
eat
know
them.
what
They're
you need to
gross.
get at Wendy's?
They're fresh.
No way.
That's
They're
yeah.
cooked right
Cut.
before your
Yeah,
eyes.
I mean, they cut them, then they put them in the fryer. That's how
It's
they do it.
gross.
Wendy's
They,
isn't
they
for,
cut
No.
them into the
isn't
fry.
for fries, it's for the bacon.
I like my potatoes to be frozen first.
Yeah.
I don't know why
way.
I'm watching
I
potato.
can't.
be
Okay, so
burned.
that right there just took all his credibility away, ladies and gentlemen.
You guys know there
Let's
was
go to
a
Josh.
sci-
Josh.
a scientific study that
Well,
came out that
you guys are all
vegetables
wrong.
can feel pain.
Wendy's isn't for
That
fries.
they let out ultrasonic
No.
vibrations. What do you
Wendy's
think?
is for bacon. That's why you go to Wendy's.
No, that's why you go to Jack
Bacon
in the Box.
burgers.
Jack in the Box.
Jack in the
No,
Box.
I've never.
Jack in
The
the
ultimate
Box.
bacon cheeseburger is
it's the
bomb.
ultimate. Yeah.
The dude
Now,
scares me.
The Dave Double though, it is actually pretty good at Wendy's. I will give you that. I will give you that.
They had a special when they had a special like 2 summers ago, and it was so good. They had bacon and they had this special sauce. I don't remember the sauce.
Was that
but it
what?
was sweet.
Are they the ones that did what they call the Baconator?
I think
Is that
so.
them?
It was number 7. It was so good.
Number 7.
We were on a trip, right? So we would stop at fast food, and I was always like Wendy's. I need my number 7 because it was so good. It was so much bacon.
Well, you know, and I can tell, I've had a lot of Wendy's fries, so I can tell you they're not top 5 because when Taylor was growing up, it was like every Friday thing is he'd want to go to Wendy's. He'd get his nuggets and he'd get a chili.
You've always liked gingers.
Gingers.
Josh. Is that your sister, Josh?
Yeah, Wendy is my sister.
Wendy's your sister. No, but
Looks like
so
PP Longstock.
I made a lot of food from Wendy's. Growing up, 99-cent Whopper, so I had a lot of food at
I
Burger
think the
King.
Whopper's extremely overrated. It's just liquidy.
It's
gross.
changed a lot. It
So-
seems like they changed the patty, the quality of the meat.
Better or worse?
Worse.
They freeze it.
Oh, back in the day, well, yeah, but for me, and I know I'm in the minority here, but if you're looking for a good burger, I mean, obviously In-N-Out is number 1.
I think
but
I
love-
In-N-Out nothing compares to the meat and cheese combo.
dude, I love a superstar from Carl's Jr.
Never
I
had
love
it.
it.
Never
I
had
don't know
Carl's
what the
Jr.
big deal is about
Josh.
Carl's.
Life changing, Josh.
It is.
I also
Yeah.
don't
I
like
ate
the
it.
company either.
What's it's the one where it has like it's a burger place.
It's a
Whataburger. I ate at
Oh.
Whataburger for the first time about a month and a half ago.
What you eat?
So disgusting. They're basic burgers.
Well, it depends which.
It's okay.
There's one thing,
And they're fries.
they have an amazing green chili double.
Yeah.
That green
It's
chili
very
double
good.
is wow. It's legit.
I think it was.
Now I've tried a couple other burgers there though. Like I tried like a couple chicken sandwiches there, and I was like, yeah, no.
They're not.
But that
They're
green
not
chili
buttered
double,
chicken.
yeah,
What about Chick-fil-A coming out with the cauliflower patties?
nasty.
It sounds
I would eat
like
it on a Sunday.
that sounds. After Truett
Never.
Cathy went to clean Lecrae's shoes, and now this, I don't think they can be the Lord's chicken anymore. They're even going away from chicken.
Yeah.
I
no.
didn't know.
The Lord's
But you
chicken
know what?
has left God and left chicken.
If you ask me though, like,
But their
oh,
french fries are good.
the best breakfast sandwich is a chicken biscuit from Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, yeah.
I
I've
mean,
never
I can eat
had
like
it.
4 of those. Huh?
I've never.
You've never had a chicken biscuit? Man, what's
You're
wrong with
missing
you
out.
guys?
You're missing out. I can say it for this one.
You haven't had a superstar and you haven't had a chicken biscuit.
Listen, once you get one really good food item, you eat it forever. That's what I think.
That's not
Yeah.
Yeah, when you go to that place, but you gotta
No,
try other
You
stuff.
always
man.
go to that place.
Okay, well, here's the thing.
No.
Joseph at church, he's all like, you gotta try new stuff, you gotta try new stuff. And he's really been getting on me on this for over a year because he took me to the sandwich place in Tucson called Beyond Bread. And I just want to start simple because, okay? So I got a B.L.T. and it was great. So we went again the next day, and you know what I got?
B.L.T.
I got a B.L.T.
Yeah, I would have done that too.
Because it was good. Like, I liked it. And they're like, you won't even go out of your comfort zone. He was surprised that I like sushi.
I'm
Okay,
but
and
hold on,
then-
I'm surprised
and
you
then I
ordered a
tried-
B.L.T.
I tried a new flavor of Pop-Tarts, and they told me that didn't count. He told me that.
That does
Well,
not.
which
count.
flavor? Which flavor?
Well, I think, was it blueberry?
Yeah, it was
And then
blueberry.
s'mores, I think.
You know what?
Okay,
I'm gonna place
s'mores
an
counts,
order
but
for
blueberry doesn't.
B.L.T.
Blueberry is too normal. S'mores, a new flavor pop
So
that's fine.
he told me the only flavor Pop Tart he's ever eaten before this was strawberry.
Because it
What?
was good.
Yeah,
And
but
so I just,
Cookies
yeah.
and cream is the best by far. Because cookies and cream,
Just-
it's so perfect because
Just
you
the
can put a
thought
thin
cookies
layer of
and cream
Nutella
in
over
a
it.
pastry is
and then-
weird.
Well, actually, you heat it up.
Okay, but
and
wait,
then put
if you're
Nutella
adding
over it.
stuff to it,
Yeah.
then it's not that good. Cause you gotta add something to make it good.
No, it's the only Pop Tart where you can
No,
add Nutella.
no,
I
and
disagree
Nutella.
with that.
Yeah, that
If you have to
not
add
true.
something to something that's already supposed to be good, in my opinion, it is not good.
I put Parmesan cheese on my pizza at Barro's.
Yeah, see? See?
No, that's completely different. Cause that's, you put
Of course
cheese
it's
on
not.
Of course it's
Yeah.
blueberry, yeah.
no,
Pop
no.
Tart packages used to tell you to put Nutella on them.
Hey, but I tell you what, I don't do Parmesan cheese on pizza. I do Parmesan cheese on spaghetti.
Okay.
I just like my pepperoni pizza. That's it.
Now, wait. Why are you surprised that I would order B.L.T?
Because you're normally just regular ham and cheese. That's your comfort zone right there.
What type?
And not even any veggies. I just give me bread,
meat
ham,
and bread.
and cheese.
That's what you need to survive.
That's what I'm
And
saying.
cheese.
That's why I was
Mayonnaise,
surprised you ordered
cheese.
BLT.
But like, if I make a burger at home, I don't want all the veggies. If I go to In-N-Out, I do, except the onion.
Oh no, if I make a burger at home, I want all the veggies.
Because I think In-N-Out burgers are better than any burger I've ever had.
In-N-Out is really good.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna
Okay,
argue that.
now-
In-N-Out.
Is it your dad the
What?
one who cooks all the burgers?
Yeah. What? Okay, but what's all of our opinion on McDonald's?
Not very good.
Oh, I love this conversation.
Cinnamon rolls.
Yeah.
Everyone.
Nasty.
So
Every-
Tried them. No way.
No, they were
What?
good.
The only
They
thing,
were good.
the only thing that I like crave every once in a while from McDonald's is a Big Mac.
Cinnamon roll every morning. That's what I want.
No.
Do you like McDonald's Sprite?
McDonald's what?
Right?
Yeah, Sprite.
No, I like McDonald's Coke.
Yeah, but there's
Why are you laughing?
Sprite's better.
You do know that McDonald's Coke is the best Coke out of any restaurant.
Restaurant.
Yeah, well, yeah. Any
What's the
restaurant.
best Coke?
Better than Mexican?
Mexican Coke.
Oh,
Yeah, the Mexican Coke's the best. No, but out of
Jewish
any
Coke?
restaurant, like if you go, you can go to a sit-down restaurant, or you can go to a burger joint. Test their Coke next to McDonald's Coke. McDonald's Coke is better because it's packaged differently. Coke packages Coke for McDonald's completely different.
So how does that
Taste-
affect the
taste
taste?
That might be why everyone
Huh?
loves McDonald's deep down.
Yeah, McDonald's, but that's just, so I mean, it's, yeah, I mean, there's nothing better, like, well, not many things better than McDonald's Coke when you're like really thirsty. Yeah.
Cold McDonald's.
Okay, but here's the
Dude,
thing.
packaging is everything.
If McDonald's was really that bad, then why is there one in every corner?
No, it's not that bad, but there's just places that are better.
Their breakfast
There
is really
is.
They're not
but
bad, like, I
everyone- everyone likes it deep down.
Look, yeah, I mean, everybody,
on
but,
the inside.
right, but
everyone
like, to
likes
me,
it,
it's
no matter
like,
what
you've got to crave it. I
Stop
gotta crave
touching my
McDonald's.
Yeah.
I'm not
Same.
touching him.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like, like, when I think of burger, I'm thinking, first place I always think is Carl's Jr. But you guys never want to go to Carl's Jr.
I'll go with you. I need to see what this
I don't
is.
Yeah,
like the- I don't
let's
like
go,
the
Josh,
Carl's Jr.
for real, because I'm telling you, that burger is, you're gonna be like, whoa, I can't believe I never had this.
I've heard about it being good. I also heard about Jack in the Box being good. I know.
Jack in the Box is epic.
My parents knew a person who knew a person whose husband had a heart attack because he had 3 meals of Jack in the Box every day.
For how long?
Like 5, 7 years.
Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Wow.
Yeah.
Fine.
Well, no, not even. He would go home and eat. He just
Oh, man.
ate. So he would eat on the way to work, at work, and on the way home. And then he
That
ate
sounds
his
that
family.
sounds like me, man.
All Jack in the Box.
No, but sometimes because on my way home, sometimes, and I have to stop doing this because I got sick. But I used to. There's a Burger King and a Jack in the Box on my drive home. It's a 50-minute drive. I'm hungry on my way home, so I would either stop and get a couple Whoppers.
You look
Yeah,
like you're
Burger
making
King.
guilty, like, confession.
Well, no, because look, it's stuff that I actually have never done. Now I'm sick. I'm paying the consequences, but
You're gonna make our fans think you're dying. Are you dying currently?
no, I'm not dying. Well, we're all dying every second that passes. We're all technically dying, but no, it's not like that, life or death. But like, anyways, I would either stop there or I would stop at Jack in the Box, because Jack in the Box to me is more like memories. Because when I was a kid like you guys, that was a go-to place. Because that was open till 1 in the morning.
I'm always scared of that guy. Memories of
His
fear.
nose is really pointy.
Nah,
I watched
so
an old
dirty.
90s commercial of the Jack in the Box guy, and he like knocks on this guy's door and says, "We heard you didn't like Jack in the Box," and then he like breaks in and tackles a guy and makes him try a burger.
Oh man, if I would have known that, I would have said I didn't like it.
Why?
So he could come over and give me some free burgers. Hey, but you know what they have on their menu that a lot of people don't know about that is really, really good? Egg rolls.
Oh yeah, they're so good.
Oh,
Nah,
goodness,
my
they're
school
good.
food sucks. Egg rolls, so good. They have the best egg rolls in America. 100%. Like, we're not supposed to go in the seconds. We got fifths when they first gave us egg rolls. This was last year. And we would pour the sweet and sour on it. Oh,
But Josh, what if some of that sweet and sour like would have got on your toe?
Well, then I
Well,
would have a dirty toe. Good thing I have shoes on.
You know, I just gotta say, Taylor always gets mad at Josh for making comments, and then he instigates them like this.
Taylor likes to suck on
He
toes.
does.
He's asked to
He
suck.
loves
Josh
hearing
has been
Josh
asking church leadership at our church if it's a sin to suck on toes.
So I don't want to do it for my friend who might ask me.
Dude,
in
do
the
you have a
future.
foot fetish, Josh?
Taylor.
I think he
Because Taylor might
does.
ask me. I want to
You
answer
know,
for him.
he took. I mean, I'll leave some details out of what happened next, but he took pictures of Cade's feet and my feet.
I have them on my phone
Weird.
still.
Yeah, see,
I do rate Taylor's higher than Cade's.
you see, that is
But
a
mine
fetish,
are
Josh.
No,
I
but
will
theirs.
say.
It's not a fetish.
It definitely.
Listen, I can rate Cade's hair better than your hair, and it's not a fetish of hair.
No, but feet, Josh. It was like, man, you got some good feet there. Like nobody.
I'm
I
not
don't
saying
know.
you got
I don't
good
know,
feet. I'm
Josh.
saying I got good
I ain't
feet.
raking their hair.
Don't say nobody, pedos, dude.
Pedos have good feet.
Okay.
I
Okay.
don't.
Now,
How do you
okay.
know, Cade?
I also will admit.
No, how do you know?
I'm saying that
girls
they'll
might.
say.
Girls might rate each other's.
Girls and pedos? What? I'm so
No,
confused.
girls might rate
Slay.
each other's feet.
Look at that.
They'll be like, oh, your feet are just so cute. Oh my gosh. Like, but a guy, Josh, would you really? No.
I'm not rating your feet. I'm saying that Cade's are worse than yours, but mine are still better.
Worse in what way?
Yours were just
Yeah, how
Better.
am I worse? Like, explain
Why?
your
Yours were way
process.
too
Yes,
red.
because I think everyone
Red?
wants
Yeah.
to hear about our feet.
yeah.
I'm
No.
not gonna say nothing. I'll just leave it where it's at.
So yeah, also Cade's the guest today. And
This is the first day back in a long time.
yeah.
They stopped because of me.
Oh yeah, forgot about that. So on the day that our last podcast was released, Josh got a concussion during a soccer.
I'm a different person.
The ball hit him at like a good 50, 60 miles an hour, straight in the face. I mean,
Okay, wait a
it
minute,
sounded-
wait a minute.
Hold on. It sounded like a watermelon cracking open.
Now, real quick,
Or
I
like
have,
throwing a water bottle and breaking it on a brick wall.
this was a
Like,
playoff
it
game,
was-
so a lot of my school was there, and I went around and asked like teachers who were there, like football coaches, and if it sounded like a watermelon getting split open, and they all went, "Ugh, you're right."
Yeah, but you know what? I got conflicting reports.
Ooh.
I heard that he got a concussion because y'all were cheering too much for him.
Nah.
You guys couldn't cheer that time.
Yeah. his
I would have said,
dad
you know, I would have
killed
said,
it.
I would have said, look, and I look at
Took
the
all the
camera.
fun out
I would
of
have
it.
said, Bob, love you, Bob. Let's go, Josh!
Yeah, but
Glad
you weren't there.
I would have been, nah, let's go. I love you.
We
My
know
dad
you.
came
Yeah.
flush right there.
But yeah. his
Hey, why didn't I
pupils-
go?
I don't know.
I don't
He
know.
didn't invite your dad?
He might
No,
have
he
been
did
sick
this,
or
but
something.
yeah, I think I might have been sick.
Yeah, but his pupils were different sizes.
I went the first
He was
time.
staggering,
Slurred speech.
slurred speech, sounded like a drunk man.
I
He
don't
was
remember it. I
delirious.
guess I said something about how my coach said you sounded drunk, Josh. You went, "I hate this school. I hate this school. I hate this school. I would die if I went to this school." That's a quote from what I said.
And then, and then his mom was like holding him up. Like, he wasn't falling over, but like his knees were a little shaky. And then
Yeah, like an
his
injured
mom's
man.
like, do you need help? And Josh's like, no, I don't need help. And then he takes a step and like stumbled. And so,
I remember
Yeah,
this,
so-
but I remember walking and not stumbling. I didn't stumble. Taylor's wrong. I was fine.
but anyways, yeah, high school sports career, like, well, contact sport, ended because that's like his third concussion.
Second severe.
2 this season.
Yeah, 2 in 1 season.
Yep.
No,
Ripped jaw.
people are gonna say I didn't recover
think
from
you
the
only
first
had
one,
one
but it was like
year
a month.
left.
Probably didn't, but you
Well,
wouldn't
look
let
how
yourself recover
No, I
from
did.
this
I
one
did
either.
recover from that one. I don't know. Did I recover from this one?
Well, I mean, with you saying you like to suck on toes.
No,
Yeah,
I've
yeah,
never
right,
said that. That's
yeah.
never.
Yeah,
I'm
this
not
whole
sure.
thing-
I'm not sure you recovered or not.
No.
This whole beat thing started after that second
Yeah,
concussion.
yeah.
Is it a sin?
Yeah.
Is it a
That's
sin?
all I want to know.
If you're sucking on Cade's toes, yes.
But why?
He's
Why is
not
it a sin?
sucking
Why
on
would you
my
want to
toes.
suck on a
Okay.
toe?
If someone sucks on a toe, why is it a sin? What if they're doing it to genuinely clean the foot?
Well, there's other methods. Why would you think to put
Who
their body
in
part
this
Some-
world, who in their right mind would suck a toe to clean it?
Some people have the same IQ as a potato. Those are the people who will get down and suck a toe to clean it.
But people with that
I'll show you
IQ wouldn't
those
expend that
numbers.
much energy to get that.
I have 1 IQ. Potato.
Why would you? Okay. Also, who ever cleans someone else's foot?
Jesus.
Josh.
But did he suck on the
Has
toes?
anyone ever asked you,
Did he suck the
Josh,
toes?
can you
Probably
clean
not.
my foot?
No,
please?"
he didn't.
Well, it's not because he had to. Like, what if there's no water around and you're just like,
Then
There's
you
no
spit
water.
on it.
Okay, guys.
that's
Well,
weird. Spitting-
let's
Make sure it's not
get
looking.
into the Bible. And we're gonna take a quick break and then we'll be back.
Well, this is only dead because I came here basically straight from school.
Okay, guys, we're back and here to talk about James chapter 5. We're getting close to the end of the book. Pretty crazy.
It only took 2 years.
Probably get another episode out of it, and then we'll be moving on. But anyways, who wants to start?
I'll start.
Josh will start with the dying fan.
Yeah, we're on.
Dad
yeah, I don't know
texting
how long
on
I can
air.
read.
You'd expect that from Josh, but
Yeah,
Hey,
I
I'm
think
talking
it's
to my
job.
babies. I'm talking. I need some B.L.Ts now.
well, yeah, but I'm saying you expect Josh to be texting his girlfriend.
He was. I asked him to stop. He should have asked me to stop, but he didn't.
No,
yeah,
no.
Josh should have asked him to
You
stop.
can continue texting. Okay.
Verse 13.
James 5:13. Is anyone among you suffering? Let him pray. Is anyone cheerful? Let him sing psalms. Is anyone among you sick? Let him call for the elders of the church and let them pray over him, anointing him with oil in the name of the Lord. I'll read one more. And the prayer of faith will save the sick, and the Lord will raise him up, and if he has committed sins, he'll be forgiven.
Where is it? I forget what passage it is. I know it's right here in Timothy 2:8 where it says to lift up your hands. But there's another passage that talks about, coming together and singing psalms and spiritual songs. And why do you guys think that's important?
That's very important because it keeps you. Hey man, don't touch my mic, man. What are you doing? Your finger almost went in my mouth. I think it's. I think it's very important because
You're talking to the mic.
it. Look at this. You see these lines right here, man?
Yeah.
They're moving up and down, man. That means the mic is catching me, dude. Look at
It's
that.
not a quality.
Yeah, his is the loudest though.
I know, dude. It's like, come on, dude. Anyways,
Volume does not equal quality, but okay.
Look, that's because you guys all talk all soft and away from the mic. Anyways, I think when you worship God, it like mends the soul. Like so many times, for me, anyways, it's like I'll be sad or I'll be down about something, and I'll put some worship music on, and boom, it's all gone. It takes it away. Or I'll be angry because somebody cut me off in traffic, and so I'll put some worship music on, and it calms me right down. So I believe for me, that's how that works.
So a
You're laughing,
suggestion
Josh.
I have. No, for when someone cuts you off, as a Christian, what you should do is put a thumbs down to show you're disappointed because it affects them more.
Okay, let me tell you a little story.
What does this have to
Okay.
do with
No, look, I'm used to getting cut off in my truck all the time, in my work truck, and so when I get cut off, like when I'm driving just my regular car, it's like no big deal to me. But one time I'm coming down Gary right there by Walmart, and there's a car that's coming out of Walmart, and to me, it looks like a little old woman. That's what I saw. I was like, oh man, this old lady, man, seriously? But it was like, all right, whatever. I didn't tailgate or nothing. But then they changed lanes, and I sped up to pass him. And when they cut me off, for some reason, I always just look over, like, to see who it is or whatever. Any ideas who it was?
Me.
Someone you knew.
Yeah, it was Ray. Ray and Stella.
Really?
Yeah. And they were coming to the house, so they followed over. Imagine if I would have been like angry and I would have like, flipped them off or something.
Oh.
No, but I mean, that's something that I probably would have done maybe like 10 years ago. I don't do it no more because to me it's like, all right, I got cut off, whatever. They must be in a hurry, whatever. But and I'm used to it now because it happens 5, 6, 10 times sometimes in a day, so whatever. But yeah, that's my story, man. I thought it was like, oh my gosh. I passed him, like, oh man, it's Ray. I thought it was an old lady. Oh my god.
Now, on the Bible verse, it's not a reason why it's important, but like the book of Psalms is singing psalms, praises. So why would that be in there if it wasn't important?
Yeah.
One of the biggest.
And I like that about songs and psalms, how it puts your emotions and feelings into words. And I think that's good for guys, since we don't really like to talk about those things. We can understand ourselves better by reading them or listening to songs too. And then I guess girls do like to talk about that, but I don't know how that affects them because I'm not a girl. So
You sure do.
thank you. But yeah,
Look how flat that is, dude.
it is very flat, but Josh says it's good.
I hear all you guys fine.
So, is anyone among you sick? Let him call for the elders of the church, and let them pray over him, anointing him with oil in the name of the Lord.
Yeah, so this is the scripture that, that we get, like, hey, when you're sick, have somebody pray over you. But here's the problem, because what happens a lot of the time is like, especially, and I've seen this happen more in the Hispanic culture, but they'll get sick and they won't come to church for a few days, couple Sundays, whatever, and nobody will check in on them. Like, hey, what's going on? So what happens? They leave the church. Oh, nobody cares about me. Oh, a bunch of hypocrites over there. But here's the point. If you read the word, it says call.
Mm.
A lot of times you don't know when somebody's sick or whatever. There's this brother at church from the Spanish ministry, Sammy. Love the dude. If I'm not at church on Sunday, he'll call me on Monday. Every time. Hey, brother, how's it going? You doing all right? Whatever. But I think that's awesome. I think that's awesome. I think we need to do that. I know that that's veering off a little bit from what it says here, but it is important for us to know that if we're sick, don't expect the church to know that we're sick if we don't let them know that we're sick. Right? Because a lot of people think like, oh, I'm sick. Well, how come nobody's visiting me? How come nobody's calling me? How come nobody's praying for me? Well, maybe nobody knows that you're sick. Right? So it's important that you notify them. Notify leadership. Hey, pray for me because this, and this. Whatever. Very, very important. Silence. Dead air in Taylor's words. Come on, guys.
Yeah. Wow. You have anything to
He said it.
Well, no, and it's very important. Like you, young people too, should do this. Like I know my wife and Josh's mom, and they're in a group where something happens, and you just hear the phone going on, ding, 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 ding. Everybody asking for prayer, and that's awesome. That's awesome. And you guys, as young leaders, should be doing that kind of stuff. Because I tell you what, it's not easy because I don't do that. I mean, I don't tell nobody, like when I'm sick, I'm not like, oh, I forget. I don't want nobody to know.
Yeah, but I think at a younger age, I wouldn't say our generation, I would just think young people in any generation. I think they have a tougher time with like, then when you ask them, what's up, sometimes they don't like that and they feel like you're all up in their business too. And so it's like, how do you balance that?
It's 'cause
Expand on that.
Well, yeah, I mean, they don't really tell you a reason.
Nobody does.
Some people do.
Very few. And look,
But they should.
I've made it a point, and you're absolutely right. I've made it a point to, like, if there's something going on and a brother from the church asks me, I'll tell him. Because how else are you going to get somebody to pray for you? Or to pray with you? Because a lot of times we all want to put a front up that says, oh, I'm never wrong with my life, I'm perfect. But no, that's not even possible. Everybody's got issues, different issues. Everybody. But when, like at church, it's like everybody's good. Hey, how you doing? I'm good, man. No, you're not. The church is a place for broken people. That's what the Bible teaches. And we go there to get closer to God. We go there to so we can be with like-minded believers that can pray for us. Iron sharpens iron. If I'm not telling somebody, what's going on in my life, if I'm not being honest, then how can they sharpen me? How can we sharpen each other? Can't.
Yeah. Verse 15 says, "And the prayer of faith will save the sick, and the Lord will raise him up. And if he has committed sins, he will be forgiven."
Okay, so let me ask you guys something, because I'm doing a lot of talking. Y'all need to say something. When you're sick, does that mean you're in sin?
No.
No.
You sure? Then why is your sin forgiven? What's the scripture say right here?
I don't know.
It says, "And if he has committed sins." That's what it says.
We've all committed sins. What did Jesus tell everybody right after he healed them?
You too.
Everybody. Jesus, when he healed the people, go
Don't
and
tell
sin
anyone.
no more.
Yeah.
Go and sin no more.
You're also not telling.
Yeah. But, and it's curious. I was, I'm not sure if it was Tony Evans that I was listening to today, or if it was part of Raul's teaching. He was talking about the question was, why did Jesus tell him not to tell nobody? So what do you guys think? And let's see if you guys line up with what he said, because this is not my answer or my idea. It's one of theirs. It's either Tony or
I think it's so it doesn't seem like he's prideful, I guess, is what I would think.
Okay.
Like humility, I would agree.
That's good.
You don't.
I don't know. It could be. Maybe that's not how we want to be spread about who he was, talked about. I don't know. Like, I don't know.
Maybe it was also like go find out yourself type thing.
What do you think, dude?
I agree with Cade's first point about humility.
Okay, so this is the explanation that, like I said, I don't remember if it was Raul or if it was Tony Evans. His explanation was that the reason that he did that was because he didn't want to attract all the crowds for the wrong reasons. When he went into the city, he wanted to go in there freely. And if you guys remember, when you're reading the scripture, it talks about him always being on the outskirts, not being able to go in.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Because he would always heal like the lepers on the outside because they weren't allowed to be in the city, but they'd run in and tell everybody. And so then multitudes were formed and he couldn't get in. So they had to come to him. I don't know. I just thought it's interesting. I really don't know or think there's a right or wrong answer because the Bible doesn't say why he did it, But I just thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
It was cool.
Now, this is one of my favorite verses, but not just James, but out of the whole Bible. "Confess your trespasses to one another and pray for one another that you may be healed." And I think healed right there, and I could be wrong, some people might disagree. I mean, it doesn't make sense, like, oh, I have a cold because I lied last week. Yeah, darn, I shouldn't, like...
Dude, is that why you're sick all the time, you sinner?
You see, it's like, no, if someone gets cancer and dies, it's not because they committed a big sin that week. Like, no, it's like, no. So that's why I think this isn't what it's talking about. I would think it means healed from their sin and the effects of their sin. And I think it's very applicable to addictions, too, to be specific. And yeah, confess your trespasses to one another and pray for one another that you may be healed. The effective, fervent prayer of a righteous man avails much.
Hey, so let me read this last part, the second part of that verse, because I like it the way, because I use the CSB. And here, I like the way it says it a little bit better because you understand it a little bit easier. It says, the prayer of a righteous person is very powerful in its effect. So the prayer of a righteous person is powerful. That's why prayer is so important. Being right with God is so important. You know, and going back to what I was telling you earlier about church, once again, how can you brothers, or how can you guys, or how can I pray for somebody if I don't know that they're hurting or that they need prayer? Because it's always good. I'm good.
Like for example, like I would say with porn specifically, because that affects 9 out of 10 men and like 7 out of 10 women. So it's not like it's not a women's thing. And I know it's uncomfortable to talk about, but like, you know, you have your accountability partner, and then and I know from my journey in the past, it's like, well, you're talking, you're letting each other know what's going on, you're praying for each other, then you slowly think you're doing better, and you kind of fade off, and then you kind of get back into it, and then you come to your brother, and you're like, you know, I messed up, I did this, and I'm just glad you're doing good. It's like, well, I wasn't telling you either, and it's like, that's not good. It's not effective until you both decide that you're going to actually be honest and continually be there for each other. It's not like it's just a 2-month battle or something, and it's just going to be over. Like, you could be 10 years sober from alcohol or drugs or porn or whatever, and then fall again. Now, and again, that doesn't mean you're an addict again, but you could be. You could fall right back into it. That's why 1 Corinthians 10:12 says, let every man take heed lest he fall. Because you're not better than that. And one thing that Pastor Chuck's been emphasizing, or in the podcast I've been listening of him as he's teaching through, I think, Chronicles, or it might be Kings, is how he doesn't believe, and I don't know if I agree with this, but that any man has fallen into a sin, or woman, but any sin, that God didn't warn him about first. So, you know, one of the major examples, like Solomon, where God gave him wisdom and was like, don't turn away, and then Solomon's kind of like, I could never turn away from you. Like, you just did all of this, we built the temple, you poured out your spirit, like, I could never turn away. And then he did. And so, just the fact that God does warn us, and we have to take heed lest we fall. We can't just be like, man, well, you know, I don't have a problem with that, you know, I'll be fine. But you're not, you're a human. So, it's about desiring God and not sin, is really what it comes down to.
Yeah. Well, I like to look at, like in the world, if you look at suicide rates, a whole bunch of people who commit suicide, they never talk to anybody about it. So then you're not only talking to someone about it, and that automatically drops just like suicide rates. But then if you bring prayer into it, you're bringing God, the most powerful thing ever.
Well, since we're in the topic, talking about like, you know, pornography and stuff like that, there's this new thing that a lot of people, and since you brought the suicide, reminded me, you know, because I was listening to this podcast today. This lady, I forget what her name is, but anyways, the thing that's going around right now is, because you guys know how people just, you know, they steal somebody's identity or whatever. So what they're doing now is, like on Instagram, they'll send, you know, like a message with like a video, pre-recorded video of like a girl to a guy, and so it seems like, you know, they're doing stuff and they're doing stuff that they shouldn't be doing, and they record it. So then what they do is once they have the recording, they get in contact with the person and say, hey, you need to give us $5,000 or we're going to send this to everybody else. Well, a lot of kids don't know what to do or get scared, so they just end up just killing themselves. Like this case that I was listening to, they told him, oh, we just sent this to your mom. Because it had been days, because I think they wanted a couple $1,000. He said, well, I have no money. I'm 16 years old. I don't have that money. They told him they sent it to his mom. He said, okay, well, I guess I'll just go ahead and kill myself. And then they just kind of like laughed and said, whatever. And that same night, he killed himself. But that's happening a lot. So I tell you guys, if you guys ever fall into that,
just own up to it.
own up to it. It's a mistake. We all make them. And I know it's hard because, like, if you're involved in the church, that's probably think, oh, you know, what's the church gonna think? What's my wife gonna think? What's my girlfriend gonna think? Whatever. But you know what? It's not worth your life. You made a mistake. You shouldn't have done it, but you did it, and now you're in that situation.
You know, a thing I think similar to that is I've only done maybe 2 altar calls, but and they weren't even direct. But I was just like, you know, everyone just kind of assumes everyone at church is Christian, and it's like, well, what's worth it? Being embarrassed and walking up in front of everyone and owning up to the fact that you're not actually Christian, or are you just gonna sit there and not repent because you don't want your friends to be like, oh, they weren't Christian? Like, your friends, if they're really Christian, won't care. They'll be happy that you actually decided to make the right decision and not just hide it. But yeah, and all this AI stuff that's coming out too. And even before AI, just looking at the past, I just feel like there's a certain point where of popularity or fame where it's like almost guaranteed you're going to get accused of sexual misconduct. And it's horrible. Especially as guys, you know, because everyone blames guys, you know, and so
yeah,
even if they're innocent, like everyone just believes that they're not. And even if they clear their name, there's still a percentage of people that it's not cleared for, just because their name is even associated with that.
Right, because now all they need is your picture.
Yeah.
And it makes it look like you're doing stuff they shouldn't be doing. You're like, no.
And they can even get 3 words of your voice and make your voice say.
And here's the thing, though. How many people are going to believe you?
Yeah.
Oh, I saw the video. Video don't lie. You know what I mean? And it's just horrible.
And that's
I'm going to tell you something. I've never told this nobody before, but I've got an email like that. Like, hey, we got all your contact list on email, and if you don't send us this money, you know, we're going to send this, you know, this email to everybody on your email list. Okay. Go ahead. Whatever. But it does happen. It happens. Now, what if it happens to some, you know, what if that would have happened to a kid? You know, somebody that's not, you know, who doesn't really know how to deal with the situation. You know, and that's what's happening right now because the suicide rate is outrageous. Believers, non-believers don't matter. And this kid, the story about this kid that I was telling you, he was a believer. And if you looked at his track record, never done anything wrong, never done anything like that. He just slipped up. He messed up. He made a mistake. Cost him his life, unfortunately.
And bringing that back to here, which is why we need to be transparent with the brethren, because the only reason we would have to not be is fear. And fear, as 1 Timothy 1:7 says, isn't from God, it's from the devil. And at the same time, if it's fear of the brethren, okay, don't assume things. Actually go tell someone at your church, and if they're going to be all negative and beating you up about it, then leave that church and go to a different one. And that's the problem with a lot of churches in America. And then there's the opposite problem in some where they just don't care and think you can do whatever you want. And that's the other extreme, and that's not good either. We need a balance, you know. And so it's important to be transparent with your brothers. And the effective, fervent prayer of a righteous man avails much. How it's powerful. And it has effect. It's important that we pray because they are powerful indeed. They burn as incense, our prayers, in the throne room of God. And then one day in the tribulation, God's going to answer all those prayers at once and pour them back to earth. And it's going to be very destructive. That's powerful. And Elijah was a man.
Hold on, are we going to finish the chapter?
No, we're only going to get to verse 18. And we
Well,
have
there's only
4
19.
minutes. No,
There's 20.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
We're not saying
but yeah,
I said
those
we
last
should just
two-
stop right here.
Those last two.
Because I got some, well, since I have some comments on Elijah, it's going to take me a lot more than 4 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, then we'll get 2 more episodes out of this. 'Cause, yeah, 19 and 20 is its own thing. Yeah, it's going to be interesting.
No, I mean, can we go over 4 minutes?
We had to take another break.
I think
Because look, I just wanted to make the analogy, the example. Like, okay, Elijah, an amazing man of faith. He didn't die. You know, God took him up to heaven, and because this right here, I was going to tie it into depression a little bit. How depression is a real thing. Elijah, as you see, he prayed and it didn't rain. He prayed and it rained. He slaughtered how many priests from Baal? He prayed and fire came down, and not only did it burn the whole calf or cow, whatever you want to call it, but it sucked up all kinds of water because he had him, pour all kinds of water on it. Yet he was told that the king was going to kill him, and he ran and hid in the cave and was depressed. This man that did all this stuff through prayer, I mean, obviously God did it, but God used him. He was the best what God was using. He fell into depression, and depression is real, and it's difficult. I fight depression. I wouldn't say I fight depression. I get little bouts here and there where I just sadness out of nowhere just comes. Like, I could be happy and laughing, and next thing you know, I just feel empty. It's like, and I'm like, no, I'm a child of God. Get out of here.
But people don't understand how the Bible can solve all of society's problems.
Yes, because they tell you. Hold on, they tell you exactly how to get rid of depression. What did God do with Elijah when he was depressed? He sent him food, and then he told him to go to sleep.
Yeah, works wonderful.
It does. It really does.
And then, probably psychologically too, you feed yourself and your body feels secure, and then you get rest and it feels strengthened. But, they give us all these pills which kill off certain hormones in us that give us these negative feelings, and that it's like those are there for a reason. Okay, it's proven that sugar cubes are, I believe, more effective than antidepressants 15% of the time.
Yeah.
Which in effect makes them 15% more effective.
Comfort food.
So it's like, okay, even if you didn't do any of that, like, what if you ate sugar, literal sugar, and read the Bible? And people, it's just that they don't like the Bible because they're so against it, and they think even me saying that right now is like such a fairy tale, and it's not.
Right. It's not. No, it's not.
Anyways, it is now time for Josh's noise, but first, Cade, do you want to say anything?
Oh, well, thank you for having me on, I guess.
I wasn't trying to get him to say that, but thank you. Josh, you want to scream into your own ears because you have those on?